Okay, so to start off with the OBPAS drawing creation, the very first thing that you have to do is you have to bring in the plan info and answer all the questions there. For that, I'll just go into the drawing template, copy the plan info and bring in to my drawing. I'll just paste it anywhere. And then I'll just start answering each of these questions. So even if your project is not applicable to any of these questions here, you have to answer it. Each and every question provided in the plan info has to be answered. If it is not applicable to you, you can just provide the value as NA, that is for not applicable. But as I said, each question has to be answered. So to show an example, you just click on it and provide your answer here. So for the first question, that is architect or technical person name, I'll just provide my name here. Then let's just quickly go over each of these questions so that we have a better understanding on what answers we are expecting here. So as you can see, the starting is self-explanatory. That is plot number. You have to provide your project's plot number here, Katha number, Moza district, plot area in meter square. Then we have the average plot depth and average plot width. Then we have the road width. This is the adjacent road width that you have to give. For example, if your project has 9-meter wide road that is adjacent to it, you will provide the value as 9. Then moving on to the next question, if there is any demolition area that has to be done in your project before creating your actual new building, then you have to provide the area of demolition here. Then we have the number of occupants or users or bed in block 1. So this is the occupant load you have to provide for each of your building blocks. So if there are multiple blocks inside your plot, then all you have to do is you have to copy this statement, paste it, and just put in all the values corresponding to your number of blocks. If I have 2 blocks, I'll have the same statement. Only thing is, first statement will be block 1, the other will be block 2. And then I can go about and add the number of users or the occupant load in each of these fields. So you can find this occupant load in from NBC that has the required values given. Each of the occupancies like residential, commercial and everything will have a different value that has to be divided from the built up area. So you can refer to the NBC to get your occupant load. Then we have the important question that we are asking to identify the project as a low risk or other than low risk project. That is the plot part of the layout approved by the authority or developed and allotted by the government or statutory, or is a final plot in town planning scheme or development scheme. So based on your answer here, yes or no, it will go and meet the criteria of low risk or other than low risk. So if you provide the value as yes, as I had shown you earlier, the first criteria of the low risk project will be met. If it is no, then obviously your project will be considered as other than low risk. Then we have is land regularized. Then we have land use zone. Provide the land use zone under which your project is falling. Is building under hazardous occupancy category? If it is considered a hazardous building, just provide the value as yes. Then is building centrally air conditioned? This is mostly for the commercial kind of projects. If it is, you can provide the value as yes. Then we have an important question, that is per acre benchmark value of land needed if project is having purchasable FAR component. So this statement automatically becomes activated when your FAR crosses the base FAR. So in those cases, you have to provide the value as whatever the per acre benchmark value you have for your project. If it is not crossing the base benchmark value, then you can provide the value as NA. And whatever value you are providing, the system will automatically do its auto calculation, and that component of purchasable FAR fee will be calculated and will be taken while the application fee payment and sanction fee payment has been done. So it is important that you give the correct value here and also submit the certificate that you receive from the department for the BMV value, the base benchmark value. And then we have the disabled parking criteria, in which you have to show mention the distance of DA parking space from building entrance. This is the maximum distance that is from the building entrance to the DA parking. And if there is off-site parking that you have provided, it is not inside your plot, it is to an adjacent plot or anywhere within 300 meters, you can provide the area of parking that you have provided, that is off-site. Then there is a statement if your project is coming under hotel projects, the star rating. And if your project is hospital, then you have to mention whether it is having critical care unit or not. For high-rise projects and for a building that requires helipad as per the building bylaws, you have to provide your value here. If there are other access to your projects, this statement should also be given. Is driveway providing access to rear side or any other side other than front of the building? Then for projects such as petrol pump and commercial projects, there are two statements. Minimum distance from road intersection. What is the distance from your plot to the road intersection? Then we have the distance of property line from the center line of the road. Then we have some of the green building and other provisions that we have to give. If your the statement says whether your project has more than 10,000 liters of wastewater discharge per day, then we have the total connected load of your proposed project. So this is the total connected load that you are showing to the electricity board and everything. We have to show the total connected load for your proposed project. And if the solar PV and solar water heating is applicable to your project, then you have to provide the capacity here. So what is the minimum generation capacity of the rooftop solar PV system, and also what is the capacity of the solar water heating system. And similarly, we have a set of green building provisions based on your project area. These statements will get automatically activated, and you have to provide your answer here. So if it is not falling into that provision, you can provide the value as NA. If it is getting activated, then obviously you will have to provide your answer as yes or no. Only if you provide your declaration yes as yes, only in those cases that bylaw provision inside the scrutiny report, it will give accepted. It is mostly dealing with the water consumption, reduce hardscape, energy efficient HVAC system and all. Then we have a few questions that is related to NOCs. So as you can see, we are asking for the different type of NOCs, whether they are applicable for your project or not. So based on your answer, the NOC will be triggered. So it is better that you answer it right here and here itself, so that the system will automatically send the application to NOCs when they'll be obviously live. Right now, it's not live as of now, but in future, whenever it is fully integrated with the 5 NOC departments that I had mentioned, based on your answers here, it will automatically get triggered and send it to the respective authorities. But even in those cases, if you provide the answer as wrong value, the department official will have the authority to send your application back, and from there you can obviously submit it to the NOC department. So the first is whether your project requires AAI kind of NOC from the airport authority. So does the project require NOC from AAI as per the color-coded zone map? The map that the airport authority referred to. If your project is falling within it, obviously you will provide the value as yes. Then we have some centrally protected monument like NMA and all. Then we have the state protected monuments if your project is within the 300-meter distance of it. Similarly, we have other values also, like proposed construction next to flood embankment and all. So just refer to this, and these are the all the different type of NOCs that can be applicable for your project. Then we have if your project is having affordable housing component, you will provide the value as yes. And if does your project require security deposit or not? And then we have is your the building block, does it have an entire facade that is made out of glass? So this is mostly for commercial type of projects. Then we have the project value that you have to give if your project is having the EIDP fee component. So based on the value you give here, the system will automatically calculate the EIDP fee that you have to pay. And then we have the last question, is the project by state government or central government or government undertaking? You can provide your value as per the applicability. So this is the plan info that you have to fill in. This is the first thing that you do while creating the building permit application. And after creating this plan info and answering all these questions, then you can go about and start preparing your OBPS layer.